About 6 to 7 weeks ago, I got back from a very successful half marathon PB in Brisbane. Now, I didn't quite hit my goal time. I wanted to do a 1:45, but only got a 1:46. I was about 86 seconds short of a sub 1:45. So close. Regardless of that, my previous PB was at 1:59. That's 13 minutes that I've gained since my previous PB attempt. In this video, I'll go through the 5 key things I learned over those 6 months between my PB attempts and what I'm going to focus on in the months ahead. The first thing I want to talk about today is volume. I'm sure everyone already knows that the more you run, the better you get at running. It's simple. Do you need to do 100k plus weeks? Now look, I don't have all the data, but leading into like Canberra Marathon and leading into the Brisbane half, there was 2 weeks that I did that was over 100k. Do I think I would have gone faster if I'd done like more running, more 100k weeks? Honestly, yes. But I think between the 6 months between Canberra half and Brisbane half, I think I only averaged about 60 to 70. It wasn't a ton. And so, do you need 100k weeks? No, but it does help. And what you do need is a very solid base. Now, through the 6-month period between Canberra half and Brisbane half, there's actually 3 months where I could hardly train at all. And that was from about the start of Feb to the start of May. Now, that was because of an Achilles injury. It was 3 months where I couldn't do as much volume as I wanted, but I also couldn't do much intensity. I'll get into the intensity bit just a little bit later. But those 3 months, I was probably only averaging 20 to 40k. Now that's why my average was quite low, at around the 60k range over the last 6 months, was because I wasn't able to train properly. But in saying that 60 odd k that I averaged, honestly, I think that's the minimum. If you want to do a 1:45, a 1:30, or maybe even a sub 2, you got to have decent volume. And I reckon 60k is probably as low as I would go. Next up, we have the long run. And that's probably the most important thing that you can do to get a faster time. Now, prior to the Canberra half last year, I really only did 2 long runs that were over the half marathon distance. The first one was actually a race. It was the Goulburn half marathon, and I made a video about that if you guys want to check it out. But the other one was the week after, and it was just a 2.5 hour easy run. I think it was about 23k. But those 2 runs, they were the only ones over the half marathon distance. When you compare that to my half marathon PB in Brisbane, in the 8 weeks between the Canberra Marathon and the Brisbane half, I did 4 long runs that were over the half distance. Now, between Canberra half and Brisbane half, I also had that marathon block. I had a marathon race. And so in that block, I did about 9 runs that were over the half distance. And of course, I did the marathon itself. I also did about a dozen runs that were not quite the half distance, but were probably, 20k-ish over 2 hours. And so it's that volume, the number of runs at or near race distance, combined with a bit of speed work. It's the volume, and the volume of the long run, that is what makes it key to a good performance. And I think that significant increase in long run volume is what allowed me to go even faster than my sub 2 over that 6 months. Getting the body used to running the distance and doing intervals as part of that long run, I think has been absolutely key to improvements. Now for my next block, in my build into Canberra half in November, I'll be doing probably about 20 long runs that are at above the marathon distance. Now that's about a 50% increase on the last block. Can I see a 50% increase in time? We'll see. Now let's talk about intervals. I mentioned earlier that I had an Achilles injury from about February to May. And now what that meant is that I wasn't really able to do anything hard for that 3-month period, which is about the majority of the block. Between February and June, I only managed to do 2 tempo runs. Now tempo is probably like zone 3, but it was about 5:30 per K. Now my race pace for an hour 45 was 4:59 per K. Much faster than even what the tempo work was. For races that are over about 30 minutes to an hour, I'm going to do a bit of a hot take here. VO2 max is irrelevant. For the marathon and the half marathon distance, they're both super aerobic. And so what's more important to your training is focusing on zone 2 and zone 3 and getting your threshold, your 1 hour power and your easy running to be as fast and efficient as possible. Your speed work and your VO2 max work is largely irrelevant. Next up, I want to talk about nutrition. And I find nutrition's been a massive pillar in holding up my training. I've been a massive proponent of high carb fueling for well over a decade. I've been taking about 100 grams of carbs per hour since I was a cyclist, way back in about 2014. What I've been working on recently is improving my race fueling strategy. In training, I'm maintaining about 90 grams an hour. However, for racing, I bump that up to 110. You can really feel the efficiency as you're racing and you're pounding hard on the pavement. Given how much of a boost 110 gives me, it does make me wonder, what if I was doing 120, 130, or maybe even 150 grams an hour? How much faster could I be then? If you look at other endurance sports, cycling is well known to doing that level of carb intake, if not even higher. Now, even the best, looking at the GOAT, Christian Blumenfeld, as a triathlete, I'm pretty sure he's doing 170 plus. You can really see that the pros are doing such high carb intake. So if they're doing it, is there something to it? Is there something that we're lacking by not going as hard? Finally, I want to touch on strength and gym work. Now, I don't have any empirical evidence yet, but I can tell you, since I incurred my Achilles injury, and I've been focusing on the supplemental gym work and the strength work, I feel like my running efficiency has improved significantly. Over the last few months, I've been doing a lot more strength work. I've been doing a lot more body weight exercises, such as squats and calf raises. I've also been going to the gym and doing more heavy lifts with like the leg press and the leg extension. I'm not going to get on my high horse and say that you absolutely need to do some gym work. But if you've got some spare time on top of your normal run training, I definitely recommend it for injury prevention and injury recovery. The benefits are so good, but only on top of your training, not instead of. Are there any key factors that you think I've missed in terms of improvements? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.